Are you ready? Hey, how everybody doing today? Here's Matty P, a Matty P Urban Comedy Podcast. Yeah, coming straight out of St. Louis. Y'all know that. I got a few things to talk about today, y'all. And this is weird shit to me. It's really weird. We've been waiting for months and months and months for this so-called Donald Trump to lower the prices, like he said he would do. You know, housing costs, you know what I'm saying? Lower the interest rates. He haven't did none of that. And MAGAs keep talking about some, give him time, give him time. How much time do you need? Because it didn't take him no time to threaten Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, the Department of Education. It didn't take him no time to do that. No time. And there's not one thing that anybody in America could tell me what has Donald Trump did for anybody financially good for the United States right now. I haven't seen not one thing he's done. Nothing. But I can tell you what he messed up on doing, though. That I can tell you. Yeah, I can tell you that much. Because he haven't did shit for the United States. And they keep trying to say this man is not a racist. This man is a racist, y'all. Is he not a racist? The man just said the other day that Smithsonian is always talking about the bad thing in the United States, like slavery was bad. What the? Wait. Go back. What the fuck you mean, like racism, like slavery was bad? Motherfucker, it was bad. This man has life fucked up, y'all. He totally has life totally fucked up. And that's real shit, y'all. This man here, boy. This man, boy. He is a motherfucking joke, y'all. I'm telling you that. He is a fucking joke. He wants to take everything black out of the United States. Like, you can't erase our history. You cannot. You cannot erase the history of African Americans here. You cannot. Because American history is African American history. There is no American culture in the United States. There's African American culture, which is the United States, because without our culture, the United States would not have a culture. They would not have a culture. I don't give a damn what nobody say. White people get mad. They say, well, we always doing this. We do that. We taking our own people's lives. Okay, that's true. But y'all act like y'all don't do it. That pisses me off. How y'all gonna just blame blacks for all the crime? Studies shown. You want to tell me about it? One demographic has the most serial killers. Only one. I ain't got to say who it is. One demographic has the most PDFers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Pedos. Okay? Another fact is that one demographic are more for taking the life of their partners. So when you all say that blacks are violent, well, we learn from the best. Oh, yeah. We learn from the best. Okay? Y'all taught us all of this. Okay? The way y'all treated slavery. Come on, man. And then y'all talking about y'all don't want to know about it. Wow, now you're so ashamed of your history now. This is one of the greatest country on earth. You should be proud of everything you've done in the United States, especially white people. Y'all should be damn proud of what y'all done, did, and going to do. So own up to it. Because reality, damn near everything in the United States, I'm not saying everything, and I'm saying all of them. But there's a whole lot of things in the United States by black people that white people use today for comfort. Okay, like that dryer, you wash the clothes, you want to dry clothes out with? Yeah, that. You know, that security cameras? Yeah. Yeah. Refrigerator trucks? Yeah. You know, stop sign, I mean, that's not stop lights. Yeah. That too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. The fiber to one of the light bulbs. Yeah. To make them burn longer. Yeah, that was us too. Yeah. Yeah, that was us. That was us, y'all. You know, blood plasma, open heart surgery, peanut butter. Yeah, yeah, that was all us. That was all us. Text messages. Yeah, that was us too. You know, so y'all riding high and benefiting off the back of what we created, but y'all don't want to give us our just due and our respect, which is kind of weird to me. It's kind of weird. We've done a lot. We have done a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when you want to try to degrade us, you know what I'm saying? Saying that we're ignorant, stupid, and all of those stuff like that, violent people. We're the same people you are. You all just broadcast ours more because we are a minority. See, whites are the majority in the United States. Okay. Okay. But here's this though. Whites only make up 7% of the population throughout the world. You get what I'm saying? Throughout the world. Okay. And when you talk about blacks, well, we make up 13% of the population. That's true. 42% incarcerated. See, when they couldn't legally slave us no more, they found another way to enslave us called prisons and jails. See, that's the new slavery is right now. Okay? And then let's keep that real. And you talk about broken homes. Well, I think the slave owners did that. You know, they would sell somebody off who had his family. They would sell him off. Take a child away from his family, sell him off. A mother. They would do all of this stuff to get us. So now they said that we have broken homes because we have no mother and fathers in the home together. But you all created that. All right? Food stamps and welfare was not created for black people. It was created for white people. That's who it was originally made for. White people. We didn't get until about like 1960 or early 70s to get on welfare. Okay? Then y'all said if there's a man in the house, able working by a man in the house, you cannot get no food stamps. Okay. Okay, cool. But when you step further, you have to be married to this man. Now, if you're not married, you're really not gonna get nothing. So that what broke up the black families right there. Some more. They use every leverage against us to try to make us bow down. See, America can never do anything to us that has not been done to us before. Throughout it all, we are resilient. We are strong people. Okay? African Americans who live in America are the most influential demographic of people in the world. Whatever blacks do in the United States, the world copies. Look at our music, especially rap. Rap is all over the world. I didn't see no white people invent no rap. When rap came out, hit in 1978, by the early January 1979, rap, I don't know if I remember, Rapper's Delight came out. It was only played in 2 cities for a whole year. That was New York and St. Louis. Kind of found out why St. Louis because I guess the owner had some ties to St. Louis. I think Steve originally from St. Louis, something like that. But years ago, it was only played in St. Louis and New York for a whole year. 1979, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But rap been around since 1975. Just ignore airplane since 1979. Okay? Rap is the biggest genre of music in the world. In the world. And I didn't see not one white person get up in 1974, 75, and all this shit in 1979 rapping. Y'all call it garbage music, jungle music, most y'all call it. I can't understand what it's saying. That stuff be gone in 5 years. Well, 50 plus years later, the biggest genre in music. You know, without our blues, there would be no country. Let's keep it right. Let's keep that right. Without no funk band, there would be no rock and roll band, no hardcore band. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Without R&B, there would be no pop. See, then everything that the United States does, do, and will continue to do and have done, it's been because of blacks. We are the culture. We are the culture of excellence. Y'all didn't know how to cook for real. Y'all thought by sticking a stick to a bird and putting it over open flame was just cooking. Blacks took it a little step further, put them on some coal, some rocks, put tin tops over them, came with barbecue. See, they didn't tell y'all this, but back during slavery, only thing that mattered on a chicken was the legs. That's all they wanted was the chicken legs. That's it. Black thought about it, that chicken breast, wings, the back. You know what I'm saying? And we cooked it all. So they gave us all the slop that they didn't want us to have. Like, we had full rights to a pig because white folks don't eat no pigs. But see, when black people came around, those slaves, and started taking those herbs that they brought from Africa with them and grew them in these little pastures in the slavery, they started putting them on this food. And when we hit this food, it made it taste hella motherfucking good. White people like, damn, what is this? So then that's when they wanted to bring, you know, a cook up in the house, a black person to cook for them. So we have all their little friends over their house. The black women were preparing the food. It wasn't the slave owner's wife, daughter, nothing like that. It was black women. Everything in the United States is influenced by blacks, including the laws. There's so many laws against us. But that's another story, though, back to what I was saying. So, black people are the most influential people in the world. Everybody copies our style, the way we dress, the way we talk, our lingo, our slang, our swag, okay? How we get down on TikTok and YouTube and everything like that. Dances. You know, black people do dances on TikTok, don't get credit for it. They give credit to white girls who stood up for black women. And I heard one day, one lady had nerve to say that Miley Cyrus invented twerking. So Miley Cyrus invented twerking, y'all. Imagine that. Okay? Now, for education-wise, you know, college was, you know, I don't think everybody knew that, but colleges were free up until like 1965, 66. You go to college for free. But they wouldn't admit blacks. So what blacks did, they created their own, you know, universities, HBCUs. Okay? How did they fund them? Well, the students who went there, they came out of all around the country going to the HBCUs. So the students there really could afford nothing there, right? Because they didn't really have no money. So what they would do, they would pay $20 a year to attend school. That way we take care of the place for them to eat at, the house where they can sleep at, you know, stuff like that. How to get around, you know, even buy little clothes. And it was working. White people discovered this. Well, damn, they charge them a school and get money like that? Well, maybe we ought to charge these colleges. So now you see all the colleges now charging tuition now because of how black people started it. They always say that they want to leave us alone, that we don't know nothing. We're just dumb. That's cool. But why are y'all so jealous of us? Because every time blacks have had a community which was flourishing, whites came down and destroyed it. And that's history and fact. Look at Tulsa, one of two major cities in America that had a bomb dropped on them by the United States. Dropped a bomb on them. Okay? Look at Rosewood. Look at Central Park in New York, y'all. That was once black settlers there. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? Flourishing on the other side of Harlem, but they were flourishing down in Central Park. Flourishing. Whites did not like that. So what they do? Run them all out of there. Got them out of there. Doing evil, sadistic things to them to set a message for them. Central Park Day is what it is now, Central Park. But Central Park was once a whole community of black people, y'all. That whole park was once full of black people with businesses, doctor's offices, pharmacies, movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? Schools, hospitals. All of this in this little ass park. But it was flourishing with black people. They didn't like that shit. They did not like it at all. Okay? Even here in St. Louis, I'm at Kinlock, was once a flourishing black community. Well, we don't know what happened, how it disintegrated, but people think that they pump oil into the soil of the Kinlock, so Kinlock can even really grow nothing. And the ground was so unsteady, really can build nothing. Right now, Kinlock is still here today, but it's not like the Kinlock it was. Oh, it was not. It was not. Go show that the worst thing that we could have did was segregation. We should have stayed alone by ourselves. But even then, we were by ourselves, they still came and harassed us. Still came and harassed us, y'all. So we can't even win for losing. And that's a damn shame. Because every time we want, they have to come and try to destroy it. And that's real talk there. That's real talk there. Okay? We are the only race of people who never knew it was a depression. When a recession and depression going around, black people don't know because we ain't never had nothing in the first motherfucking place. We had nothing in the first fucking place. So everything we got it out the mud. Okay? Like people panicking right now how the economy is going. For black people and Hispanics, this is normal to us. This is normal to us. That's why I would say we will survive regardless of what goes on. We're going to make it. We are going to make something out of nothing. We can take a thought and a dream and put it and turn it into a reality. Because that's just how strong that we are as black people. We have stood the test of time so many times. So many people try to bring us down, break us down, trying to make us feel bad for being black. Didn't like we say black power. They hated that. Didn't like Black Lives Matter. They hated that. But at the same time, y'all won't leave us alone. How many black men, well, I'll say this, wait a minute. One guy told me that blacks are racist. How in the hell can black people be racist when we have no laws? We control no laws that are written in the Constitution, or state level law, none of that to benefit blacks. Tell me how many laws that made that oppress white people. Tell them where they can't go. Tell them where to sit on the bus at. Tell them what water fountain to drink out of. Tell me one law that black people have had that oppress white people. Tell me just one. Okay? See, you can't call a race of people racist that don't control nothing. We don't control the government or anything. Banks or nothing. Even if we do own black banks, we still got to pay the white federal government their money due too. So Black people really don't own nothing in this country. Nothing. Because the money always has to go back to whites. But when we had our own communities, it wasn't then. It was all going back. We funded black to the black community. To the black community. How do you think Tulsa survived? How do you think they survived? In 1929, they had the Great Depression, 1932 or something like that. Every community suffered throughout the United States, except one. When they really took off was Harlem, during Harlem Renaissance. Harlem kept that money, the black people kept that money in Harlem. Today, to this day, Harlem is still rich with pride and blacks in it still. Harlem was so famous and popular that during those times, you had the gangsters and dignitaries all going to Harlem to the Cotton Club and all that stuff. You know, because that's knew where it was at. That's when it was also, when you couldn't drink alcohol, prohibition in. Harlem had everything. Had everything. Right? They couldn't take over Harlem because it was too many strong black people then. You weren't going to take Harlem like you did every other city. It wasn't just black people, that brown people too. So don't get that twisted, y'all. Don't get that twisted. Okay? Harlem had everything that you needed. You didn't even have to leave out of Harlem to go outside of the other boroughs of New York. You could just stay in Harlem and handle all your business in Harlem. Okay? So when Martin came fought for desegregation, you know, I was too young to remember, you know, because he was assassinated in 1960. I was born in 66, so I mean 64. I was like 2 years old, or something like that. But anyway, if we were just left and segregated, we wouldn't have to deal with the shit we're going through today. Because facts, y'all, we are the biggest consumer dollar in America. We spend over like $4 trillion a year, something like that. We up in the numbers. We spend. Black people spend money. So if they want to kick us out of the United States, their economy is going to really fold because who are you going to spend with? Who going to wear money? Who going to keep floors afloat? Black people do that. We made Cadillac famous. Cadillac was the first grade. Nobody wanted a Cadillac. They looked at it as a joke car, kind of funny looking car. But then all of a sudden, the late 60s came around and black people started buying Cadillacs. Cadillac market share started going up, bam. Because the black people started buying Cadillacs. Nikes came out. Didn't nobody mess with those damn Nikes. Nike was just a shoe company for running people. We want to run and jog. So wasn't nobody into that shit. But when they signed Michael Jordan back in 1984, yeah. Who bought the shoes? Black people did. Jordan. Now, look where Jordan at, okay? Got white people wearing Jordans. Hispanics, Asians, women, men, kids. Okay? Because we makes it famous. Who made the Waffle House famous? Black people did. When Waffle House first came, I think they said it started in Atlanta somewhere. I think they said Atlanta was the first Waffle House or something like that. I could be wrong. I'll make sure. But I'll come back and tell you. But when nobody going there? All them black people got to go in there. And tell this person, tell that person, because there wasn't no social media then. It's word of mouth. Bam, it took off. Waffle House took off, right? Because of black people. Whatever we decide to do and push it, their business becomes successful. And still, we get no respect or props for that. Ain't that insane? So like I said earlier, white people can function without us because down there, everything that they have in their household was probably invented by blacks. And the other half, you got from China. That's right. That's right. I keep telling y'all. You know, there's a plethora of things I can tell you off the top what black people have invented that white people are living off back of us for, you know what I'm saying? Because of our inventions. But we get treated the less the worst, and we the most disrespected race in all. But y'all living off good life, off of things that we as a black community have invented. Like I said, the stoplight, the refrigerator truck, the dryer, the pressing comb, the brush for the women that brush their hair, the brush, the mop, okay, the home security systems, okay, text messages, GPS. There is a plethora of things that black people have made, and it benefits everybody, especially in the United States, and we still get no respect. We're dealing with an orange racist president because people thought, and I'm gonna tell y'all like I tell everybody else, not everybody voted for Trump is a racist, but all the racists did vote for Donald Trump. You know how much hate you got to have in your heart to choose a man who told you what he's going to do to the economy, what he's going to do to the United States, and you chose this man over somebody else out of hate? Because the election was never about politics. It was about race and gender, and Donald Trump trying to board the penitentiary. That's what the whole deal was really about. Okay? That's what it's about. Because how in the hell can you tell me, you can't even tell me one Trump's policy. They couldn't. But how would a woman say she wants to get $25,000 to first-time homeowners want to buy a house if you qualify? $50,000 to start a small business. Because when you start a small business, people spend money in your business, which makes you go spend money on somebody else's stuff, which means it grows the economy. Wanted to put a cap on medications. Okay? Want to put a cap on it. Okay? Kamala Harris never would have touched Social Security, Medicaid, or Medicare, or the Department of Education. She wouldn't have took down fired all those federal workers. She wouldn't have ever took down the Weather Bureau of the WHO thing. I mean, you know, about the weather. None of that. She wouldn't touch none of that. USA, she wouldn't touch that neither. When she was in office with Joe Biden, we had a booming economy. GDP growth was massive. You know what I'm saying? It was massive. Our GDP was massive. That's gross domestic product. Y'all don't know GDP means. It means that shit that made America, we was going and we was buying it. And we get money out of it. Okay? We had to worry about a tariff. None of that shit. But your hatred for black people and the gay community is a trip. Because it seems like y'all say, well, Donald Trump's going to keep men out of women's sports. Well, then, you can go to any park in America right now today, and you see organized teams where boys and girls both play on t-ball teams together, flag football teams, girls wrestling boys on mats, and people recording. This is in the gym. They see this is going on. Martial arts, girls going against boys in martial arts. Okay, so if you were that serious about keeping men out of women's sports, you should ban every co-ed sport in America right now today if you're that damn serious. If it's that serious that you think that's what it is, you should go ahead and ban that shit right now today. That's real talk. That's real mother talk. Because that's what you're saying. Because that don't make no sense to me. Because there are always different double standards and hypocrites on most everything y'all say. People say that they're pro-life. Well, and I say this to them all. Pro-life. Do you think Jesus or God was pro-life? Was God pro-life, y'all? I might ruffle a few feathers, but no, he wasn't. See, in the Bible it says the story of this little kid, a bald head, and his 40 kids used to call him, mess with him. And God sent 2 bears out of the woods to kill his kids. That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible. God also said in the Bible, according to y'all, because y'all believe in the Bible so much, that God ordered the firstborn son of every Jewish to be killed in Israel. That's what God said. It's in your Bible. It's in your Bible. Okay? So don't tell me about no pro-life. And you Christians doing God this, God that, when God took lives as well. Look at Sodom and Gomorrah. So you tell me. So y'all so against abortion because y'all said God don't want nobody killed. Well, God killed himself. So you're not greater than God. So how can you put yourself on the same level pedestal as God? You can't. The same people that say it's against abortion are the same people that want the death penalty. So how are you pro-life if you want the death penalty? See what I'm saying about the inconsistency of them and hypocritical things they say? Okay. They call themselves Christians. But in the Bible, Jesus said, treat an immigrant as he was your brother. For you too once were an immigrant. He said to feed the immigrants. Right? Help the immigrants. What does Donald Trump do? Try to keep them out. So how that Jesus and God be like? That totally contradicts what the Bible says. Totally contradiction of what it says. So when y'all be talking that shit about the Bible, y'all not living like the Bible. You say you're a Christian, but are you living like a Christian? See, I'm not a Christian. I'm just kidding all 100. I'm not a Christian. Okay? But I read the Bibles, Torahs, Qurans. You know, I lean more toward Islam. Yeah, I do. Because I like to teach and study and their discipline. Okay? Because one thing I know from reading and studying Islam is that Islam teaches you two things: to search for the truth. If you find the truth outside of Islam and another faith, there be it, follow that. But it teaches to do that, to search for the truth. It also tells you in the Quran too. Tell the truth, even if it's about yourself or your brother, even though it may hurt them. And tell the truth on yourself. If you're wrong, accept that you're wrong. Okay? So that's why I understand when you so-called Christians all want to throw up what the Bible says, but y'all not living like the Bible says live. You're not living like Jesus Christ lived. Because I guarantee right now, if Jesus was to walk down the earth right now, he wouldn't be no MAGA. No. He'd be totally against y'all according to what the Bible says. No. If Jesus came out right now, Donald Trump would call him a hippie. They'd get high on marijuana. That's what we would call him if just to see him. And I'd be asking myself, so who do you praise more? Who do you worship more? Two-part question: Jesus or Trump? Because God said you cannot honor two gods. So y'all figure that Trump is a better man than Jesus? Give me that. So Trump is a better man than Jesus, huh? No, that's a fucking joke. No, that's a joke. A damn good joke at that, y'all. But you know what, y'all? I'm gonna end this right now. And hopefully we'll get back together again later on today. I'll be back on going live again later on today on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook and Twitch all at the same time. So till then, y'all, I want y'all to take it easy. Be careful out there, y'all. And y'all got my special blessings coming out to you. Peace, y'all.